Alright lads, so releasing tomorrow is our second ever playable art summons featuring artwork by KUBO himself, turned now into playable characters, this time with martial artist themed characters based off of this artwork, including Rukia and also Orihime. The banner is releasing tomorrow, and we're here to ask the question, is this banner worth summoning on? Should you summon? And is it worth putting orbs into these characters? Right now, I'll tell you the answer, of course, is no. These characters I don't think are worth pulling for, and I just don't think the format itself lends you into wanting to spend orbs on these characters. Having said that, however, the only reason you should be summoning on this banner is if you are a massive fan of Rukia and or Orihime and want to collect them. Remember, these games are collector games, right? You are collecting characters, you are pulling for your favorites and characters you just like and based on their design and want to play with them, etc. If you like the characters, by all means, go ahead and summon. There's no point saving for a future banner if it features characters you don't care about. So if you care about these characters, then by all means, go ahead and summon, because to be fair, we don't really know how common these characters are going to be. Remember, this banner is a collaboration with KUBO. We don't know if these characters are going to return in the future with 1000-year Blood War banners. It's just kind of unknown, right? So will you ever be able to summon for these characters outside of, their particular banner when they rerun? They could, and I would hope that would be the case, because personally, I'm not someone. I would love to get these characters in the future, but right now, I just can't really afford to summon characters like this right now in a mid-month banner, especially when the characters are only guaranteed on step 20. Fortunately, you are guaranteed one of the characters of your choice on step 20, but there's not a crown step-up summon, so you aren't guaranteed either or on step 10, and that makes it a hard sell in my opinion. For those that are wondering though, the banner itself is available on the 17th, so there's no rush to summon on it. On the 30th, when this banner leaves, is when we do get our next end of month banner, which likely is going to be 1000-year Blood War Season 3 units. So if you are excited for any upcoming Season 3 character, very similar to Jushiro, Uryu, and also Renji, now is the time to start saving, but also at the same time, you don't need to summon day number 1. You can wait and see what the banner is on the 27th. If you don't care about end of month, then you can dump orbs into this banner. Maybe it's also worth mentioning, this time next month, we are also going to get another live stream, probably for more playable art characters. So if you do like the idea of these summons, and you do want to summon on the character, but don't like the character choicing or the designs, maybe you want to wait this time next month for the third round of the potential playable art characters. With that said though, let's go over the characters once more before they do official release. So Rukia is a melee normal attack damage character that in a way isn't designed for guild quest, but of course can be used in there as she is a melee human killer plus unit. Now in a fortunate circumstance of events, the melee human guild quest best lead right now is the previous playable art character, in this case with Rangiku, who's also a mind character. So because this character is another mind unit, you can actually use the Academy Shuhei to further boost Rukia and also Rangiku's damage output for good clear times in guild quest and overall more damage. Speaking of damage though, Rukia actually has a really high damage output. People are only seeing Flurry plus 2 and don't realize how much bruiser this character has built into her kit. So the next character in this band that we are going to talk about does have Flurry plus 3, but the bruiser values are completely different. In the case of Rukia, she has Flurry plus 2 with an 80% bruiser as an obtainable skill. Through her soul trait, she gets an additional 35%, and then she does have 3 enemies defeated bonuses, where she gets an additional 20% melee damage, 30% more bruiser, and then 20% more damage to any enemy that is inflicted with a status ailment that you do get your entire team. Furthermore, her EX skill is 20% normal attack damage. So a lot of normal attack damage here. The EX skill in particular actually giving it to your entire team. That with the fact that she does have some good things about her. Her SA2 is a boost and also heal, providing those extra stats, allowing you to stay at full stamina, especially with the strong attack 3 that is a barrier move. Furthermore, with Drain Plus on all her attacks, except her SA2 and 3, allows to be a pretty safe character despite being a melee normal attack damage character. Now, while this shouldn't really be a selling point, it's definitely worth mentioning too in Path to Unity, a game mode that kind of encourages support characters like this, and also normal attack damage characters considering that you are only going up against bosses. In Path to Unity, both normal attack and strong attack characters are equally as good in my opinion. And Rukia is the only character in the game to have a boost, heal, and also barrier. So if you did want to min-max, not like you would summon for that reason, but if you wanted to maximize your points in Path to Unity, I think Rukia would be one of the better characters for that, because she will offer 3000 extra points from the heals, barriers, and also boost effects. So honestly, I'm pretty impressed with Rukia. I don't think she's anything super amazing. She, for the most part, is just a standard normal attack damage character with some good things about her. But she's honestly nothing super crazy, and that's fine. It's a Rukia character. We literally just received a super broken Rukia less than 2 months ago. For the other character in the banner, it's going to be a martial artist Orihime, and she's going to serve as a more traditional Guild Quest normal attack damage character. The things that make Rukia unique, not being a Guild Quest unit, being good in and outside of Guild Quest, kind of doesn't happen here with Orihime, but for the context of Guild Quest, Orihime is definitely going to age better because, for example, she does have Flurry +3. In Guild Quest, outside, only Flurry +2. As a team booster, she does come with the booster skill, although keep in mind her team boost is only on the SA1, which means it's a minor team boost at around 23% attack boost. But because it's on her SA1, it does have a 20-second cooldown with a 20-second team boost. So with a character like this, you're guaranteed to always boost your entire team. Not as high as other characters, but there'll be no situation where you do not have a team boost. Worth mentioning too, this Orihime does have a strong attack 3 that can heal, and a Soul Bomb can provide a barrier and also heal once more, but that's something you're not going to see much, to be fair, because mostly you're going to be using this character in auto control. She is designed though for the ranged no affiliation Guild Quest, which is going to fit in nicely, very similar to Rukia, and she is a speed unit that's going to pair well with the recently released Swimsuit Noelle and also 1000G Bloodwalk Kenpachi. But to go back to her damage output, like I mentioned, she does have Flurry +3 to outside of Guild Quest. In terms of bruiser value, she has 70%, 30% additional through the EX skill, and she also does, most importantly, offer team buffs through her enemies defeated bonus. So again, I really like the idea of what they did with Rukia and Orihime here. Despite being normal attack damage characters, they do get better the more enemies that are defeated, not by them, but by your team, making your spiritual pressure controlled characters a lot better. In this case, after defeating 20 enemies, you have 20% more summon damage, and after 40 enemies, you have 20% more damage to enemies inflicted by a status omen. So overall, a very solid normal attack damage character you would definitely use in the future for the context of Guild Quest, but again, right now on a banner like this with 2 new normal attack damage characters, I don't know if I would summon on it. Especially when you consider the filler pool of the characters. In this case, it's nothing but seasonal units. I guess it makes sense because these are also seasonal. It does feature 2 Blood War seasonal characters, in this case, Christmas Isane, a really good Links of Farmer, one of the best in the speed attribute. Really like this unit, personally do not have her myself. In the case for Beninia, she's a super Links of Farmer for the Mind attribute, decent coin farmer, fun unit to have but nothing unique, and also at the same time in the context of Blood War banners that likely you will be summoning for in the future. Every end of month at this point is pretty much going to be Blood War going forward in the future, whether it's a seasonal or canon character. Characters like Isane and Meninia being here aren't that special because they will return a lot. So for example, yes, I'm personally missing Isane, but personally I'm not going to summon for her because she's a filler, because I know I'll get later on. Quickly recapping the other characters though, Nanao is a Links of Farmer, a +10 for the Technique attribute. Shunsui is a really good normal attack damage character in the Melee Squad 0 Guild Quest, pairs very well with Academy Shuei and also Bankai Rukia. Ogura is just a good character, nothing exceptional, but just decent. Yatsu is a droplet farmer. Toshiro is meh at this point. Burika is just a Links of Farmer, a +10 one at that. Sunsun is a +5 Links of Farmer through her soul trait. And then once more, Christmas Alley Belt is just a +5 Links of Farmer. Nothing special in regards to her. But these characters are always seasonals that have been out for like a year plus now. So there will be plenty of opportunities to get them, especially through free summons. So nothing really noteworthy here. The only noteworthy fillers are the Blood War characters. But like I mentioned already, they are also likely going to be common Blood War characters in the future. So if you don't get them now, definitely we'll be getting them in the future. Like I said, even if you are a big fan of the characters, I feel like you can still skip this banner with ease unless you are a big fan of Rukia and also Orihime. Had this been a crown step-up summon where you are guaranteed one of them on step 10, either or, I would say yeah, easy summon if you like the characters. Because that's not the case though, you're looking at around 4,000 orbs before you get guaranteed one of them. So with that, with this filler pool, I wouldn't recommend it. I would definitely think this is an easy skip, and I think most people agree with that too. You can go all the way to step 40, although I don't think anyone should be doing that because the characters themselves are good, not that good. The filler pools are decent, not that great, and the step-up format isn't that great. So overall, just don't think this banner is worth summoning for. As always, depending on your orb count, it's not a bad idea to do the discount, step 1 and 2. Why not? If you get a character, it's not too bad. 350 orbs with potential tons of Rukia and Orihime doesn't sound too bad. I might be doing that myself. But any more than that, no. My orbs are personally being saved for upcoming end of month banners, but also remember end of year. While it is around 4 months away, it is something to consider. End of year is going to be our next big banner. So, of course, you're going to want to save for that. Let alone, of course, the upcoming end of month banners. So, in the comments below, let me know if you have any plans to summon on this banner. I'm curious to know. Again, me personally, I might do the discounts, but I'm not like the massive biggest fan of these designs. So, I'm more curious in the next KUBO Playable art banner that might be happening next month. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care and peace.